Hello, I'm Kelly Atkinson, Marine veteran and Regional Director of the Moffett Point Marine Association. This is your right to fight military moment. In October of 1972, the United States was embroiled in a turbulent era. The Vietnam War raged on, and tensions at home over racial inequality and civil rights were high. This climate of division found its way into the U.S. military, and it came aboard the USS Kitty Hawk, one of the Navy's largest aircraft carriers. The USS Kitty Hawk was conducting combat flight operations in the Gulf of Tonkin off the coast of Vietnam. It was a huge ship with almost 5,000 sailors. Life on the ship was demanding, especially for the black sailors who made up about 10% of the crew. Many felt they were treated unfairly compared to white sailors. They were assigned to harder, lower-level jobs and often faced discrimination. On the night of October 12, 1972, these feelings of unfairness and anger led to a serious conflict. It started with arguments between black and white sailors. A young black sailor was waiting in the line for his evening meal. When he approached the white cook serving the food, he requested 2 sandwiches. But the cook sharply refused, offering only one. Frustrated by the rebuff, he reached across the food line and grabbed a second sandwich. And since the cook rebuked the young sailor, a shouting match ensued. Later in the day, a white cook purposely stepped on the foot of a black seaman. These 2 incidents elevated racial tensions to the point where violent fights soon were occurring throughout the ship. This dangerous situation impacted the carrier's operations in the combat zone. Gangs of black and white sailors moved throughout the ship, with groups clashing in different areas. Kitty Hawk's white commanding officer, Captain Marlon Townsend, and black executive officer, Commander Ben Cloud, were both summoned to the scene. Commander Cloud arrived first. He called off the Marines and decided to engage in dialogue with the black sailors. He listened to their complaints. A short time later, Captain Townsend arrived and witnessed the ongoing dialogue. He was unnoticed by Commander Cloud and chose not to intervene, fearing that doing so carried the risk of undermining Cloud's authority. He left the scene to handle other confrontations. About half an hour later, Townsend returned and then remained on the scene to answer questions. They then ordered everyone present to disperse peacefully. The violence, however, did not end with this meeting. Black and white sailors continued to attack each other around the ship. As injured sailors received treatment in Kitty Hawk sick bay, black sailors harassed the ship's medical officers. Commander Cloud made a second attempt to restore the peace. This time, he was successful in easing tensions. He ordered sailors to return to their compartments, and all obeyed, leaving their weapons behind. 40 white and 6 black sailors sustained injuries during the riot. 3 suffered from injuries too serious to be treated on the Kitty Hawk. They had to be evacuated to medical facilities on shore. Admiral Zumwalt, then Chief of Naval Operations, the top man in the Navy, took quick action after the riot. He understood how serious the situation was and immediately sent a team to investigate. They worked to address the root causes of the conflict by personally meeting with sailors to gain first-hand knowledge of the situation. He implemented policies that eliminating racial barriers, improving communication, and promoting equal opportunity. His goal, to prevent something like this from happening again and to make the Navy life better for everyone. Zumwalt implemented a series of messages that were sent directly to the fleet. They have come to be known as Z-grams. Zumwalt disseminated 121 Z-grams throughout his tenure. 87 of them had been incorporated into Navy directives. In the days after the Kitty Hawk racial uprising, the aircraft carrier continued around-the-clock combat flight operations for 28 more days. After a total of 284 days at sea, 177 of which it saw combat, the ship returned to San Diego. 6 weeks later, 27 black sailors were arrested and charged, ending in their court-martial trials. 4 black sailors were convicted of rioting, 2 of whom pleaded guilty in exchange for reduced sentences. 14 black sailors were convicted of assault, while 4 were found not guilty of all accusations. No white sailors were arrested or charged. In February of the following year, a federal complaint confirmed that the testimony of white seamen who served as the government's main witness in the trials were perjury and tainted by prejudice. Several convictions were overturned in appeal. It should be noted that Captain Townsend was removed from command, but later promoted to rear admiral. One would expect that his successful actions during the riot would have given Commander Cloud recognition and command of a ship. However, his next assignment was as a military professor at a university with a naval ROTC unit. I'm Kelly Atkinson, and this has been your Right to Fight military moment.